Hey guys, Lookbook here and welcome to another FIFA 20 Team of the Season player review, and this is deja vu for me. I literally just recorded the perfect video for this Diaz card a few minutes ago, played it back, had my mic on mute. Oh my god. How many times has that happened to me, honestly? I was so frustrated when I saw that happen. But anyway, Liga NOS Team of the Season is here, and Diaz SBC has also arrived for us as well. And he did cost me around about 30,000 coins to complete his SBC in the 3 games that I did play. He did score me 2 goals and got me 1 assist. He also does have 4-star skills as well as 4-star weak footing. Getting into his game stats, his main standout stats will be his 95 positioning, his 97 finishing, as well as his 99 agility, and finally his 96 dribbling. I did also have the day cam stat applied to him, and he has the 1 AI trait of technical dribbler. I will also have reviews for Vinicius coming up next after this video, and then later on tonight on Ruben Diaz. So 1 player from Porto and 2 from Benfica. And the Liga NOS, as far as I'm concerned, is like the best of the smaller league team of the seasons, in my personal opinion. They've been given some fantastic boosts once again this year. Sadly, of course, it might not be kind of quite as much hype as last year. You know, obviously last year we had João Felix, we had Marega, who sadly didn't make it in last year. I loved that Marega card from last year. He was fantastic. Hopefully they get like a flashback SBC or something like that. I loved the the Militao team season card as well from last year. It was also fantastic, but it's still great this year. You know, Tellez, that Ruben Diaz card looks fantastic. Vinicius looks kind of interesting, like incredible in some stats and dreadful in others. And Luis Diaz is a very interesting card. I mean, Footbin stated his SBC is coming in at around 50,000 coins to complete. Now, obviously, I'm sure some people will just use him as SBC fodder, but I also think this guy could be useful as a super sub in FUT Champions. I think this card's good. Let's say, for example, you maybe missed out on doing the road to the final Kent SBC. This card would be just as good as him. Like, very similar height, kind of similar stats in a few areas as well. And on the whole, I think, we're talking about FUT Champions and stuff like that, I think he can be a very, very good impact sub. Let's get into, into his stats a little bit more on what I liked about him. For me, his first pro will be his pace. Superb. Can bomb it down that left-hand side. All of his goals came down from that left-hand side because of his pace. He was able to outpace the opposition fullback, then be able to kind of cut into into the box, have a shot on goal, make a little pass off or whatever. 3 goal contributions as well in the 3 games. Good return on the whole. Can't really complain with that. But yeah, his pace 93 stamina, 95 acceleration, 97 sprint speed. The fact that he's a small player as well, and also amazing agility, just kind of combines together for him just to feel absolutely rapid down that left hand side. And believe me, he really, really is. So I couldn't have any complaints there whatsoever. Also, his dribbling, very nice again there. 4-star skills, 99 agility, as I mentioned before, 96 dribbling, 94 composure. Reactions at 81, not the greatest, not the end of the world, don't get me wrong, but obviously, far from ideal, not quite ideal. People will say, is that balance an issue at 80? And in my personal opinion, the balance wasn't an issue, and let me explain why. Because of the fact he's got like amazing pace, incredible agility, and also for the fact that he's a small player, like on the smaller side, it kind of counters his lack of balance. Now, don't get me wrong, 80 balance isn't the end of the world, but that balance, I don't think you have to, as far as I'm concerned, you have to put a cam stat to increase that balance, because already his agility is amazing, he's got the small height, so he already feels agile. I did not think the balance was an issue whatsoever, at least in my personal opinion, and obviously there's 4-star skills or something that can also be utilized very, very well at the same time. His finishing as well be another pro to the card. 2 good goals in the 3 games as well, couldn't really fault that. I mean, with that day cam stat, positioning and finishing both go to 99, which is obviously superb. His shot power, isn't the greatest at 81, but obviously, once again, by having some of the Deadeye Chem style, it does take it up to a pretty solid 89 rating for shot power. So as far as I'm concerned, I think the Deadeye Chem style probably is the more beneficial chem style to apply to him, because for the most part, like, his dribbling stats all around are absolutely fantastic. The balance at 80 isn't the end of the world, and obviously, that Deadeye gets his vision up into the 90s, his short passing up into the mid-90s, that maxes out like his finishing and his positioning and stuff like that. And on the whole, I couldn't fault this SBC. I think obviously he's very, very good, for making fun teams and stuff like that as well. Maybe you want to kind of put him into SBC fodder. Hey, I understand if you want to do that, because he's a relatively cheap SBC and a nice high rating. Maybe you want to take him into the Bundesliga SBC whenever we get that later on in the week as well. But on the whole, even as like an impact sub, I think he can work well as that, at least in my opinion, based on having used him for these games. But anyway, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you guys later.